My name is Jason Long.
To program the 5800 wave, we actually need to start at the Lynx Plus. So we're going to go into programming with the installer code followed by 100. And then you need to go to field 24, so you'll enter star 24. And this is where you're going to set your RF house ID code. It can be anything from 01 to 31. By default, it's set to 00, which is not used. And you can really set this to whatever you want. It doesn't make a huge difference in most cases. Only time it will really come into play where it matters is if you have a neighbor also using a wireless Honeywell system that's using the same house ID code as you. If that's the case, then you can get interference with each other. Their panel could control your stuff, or vice versa. So, again, that's pretty rare, but you can kind of set it to something random, and that'll decrease the risk even more. Probably the most common ones are 0, 1, and 10. So you can probably avoid those. For this video, I'm just going to use 0, 1, just because it's easy. So now that we have that set, we'll just do star 99 to exit programming. And then we'll move over to the 5800 wave to continue with the process. So here's the 5800 wave. I'm just going to kind of go over a few things about it. So on the back, you'll see there's screws to fasten it closed. It comes with 2 of them in. You can see that there is a plug with the ground, and then above it there's a guide. So this actually goes in the outlet above. So in your normal duplex outlet, you'll put this in the bottom, this will go on the top, and then this hole here actually goes all the way through to the front, and you'll have a screw that goes through there that will secure it to the outlet so nobody can easily remove this. And then obviously here's where the siren sound comes out, and above that is 3 LEDs, which goes green, yellow, red, and these will kind of give you some indications on how the siren is working. So to start out, and then also right here, you can see on a sticker is the serial number, which we'll use a little bit later on. This will be so that this can be supervised. You can use this actually with just the house ID code, but it won't be supervised, so you won't be able to tell when the battery's low or if somebody removes it from the wall. So let's open this up by removing the 2 screws. Alright, so on the front cover, you can see the siren and the backup battery. Backup battery comes unplugged. Siren does come plugged in. I'm going to actually unplug the siren just because it'll be easier to show you the other half, but you don't need to do that really. If you do remove it, just remember where the red wire goes, where the black wire goes, because this pin can be switched around. Or refer to the video, you'll see where it's at. So in the back plate, you can see right here is the plug for the backup battery. And then the other main thing, of course, you have the serial number here again if it isn't on the back or gets lost, damaged, removed, whatever the case is. And then hopefully you can kind of see these pins here. They're numbered 1 through 8, and you'll see on at the top here. So if they're flipped up, they're on, down, they're off. So for instance, I just flipped pin 4 on, What you'll use these for is setting the house ID code. So if we go over to our manual that comes with the siren and you open it up, you'll actually see a chart here that goes over how to set your dip switches. So on the left hand side here, as well as in the middle, you'll see house ID, and so you'll just, whatever you set your house ID code to, you'll go to that line. So we set it to 1, and then you'll see dip switch positions 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if they're a dash, they're off. If they say on, they're on. So if we go to 1, you can see 4, 5, 6, and 7 are all off. 8 is on. And then here at the bottom, you'll see dip switches 1, 2, and 3 must be set to off. So in every case here, you're going to use 1, 2, 3 set to off. So the only thing, since these are all set to off already, only thing we need to change is number 8. We need to flip to on, just like that. So now, once you do that, you can plug in your backup battery. The backup battery pin is made so that you can only plug it in one direction. So that makes things a little bit easier. Once you have it plugged in, you're just going to close it up, make sure all your wires are out of the way, and then put the screws back in. So I'm going to go ahead and put the screws back in, and then show you a little bit more. Alright, so I got the screws put back in. I just went ahead and put the 2 screws in. You'll want to put all 4 in just for a little extra security there. And generally you're going to be plugging this into an actual wall outlet. For this video, just so you guys can see everything, I'm just going to use a regular extension cord here. Get that plugged in. Now you can see that the LEDs come on here.
Ready to arm.
And the panel will vocalize.
Disarmed. Ready to arm. Disarmed. Ready to arm.
And that's just showing you and telling you that it's connecting to the panel. Yellow LED will be on for about 15 seconds. So basically, as soon as you plug this in, because the house ID codes match, the dip switch is here as well as the one we entered in the panel, it'll automatically sync up. Now, this is a little quirky with the L3000. So the green light is kind of your power light. Everything's functioning properly with light, and generally that's the only light you want on. But you can see this red light is on. Now I'm literally a couple feet from the panel, so this red light's kind of not telling us the truth. Basically that means that there is poor signal strength. Normally you would then want to find a different location for this so you have reliable usage out of it. But let me get my door contact here. You can see if I take this door contact and I just fault it a few times, it only took one time that time, it actually made this red light go off. So something with the L3000, I've tested this on multiple systems, they all seem to do it. That red light will come on every time when you're connecting to the L3000. To make sure that it's truthful, you just need to fault a zone. May take one time, may take 2-3 times. Shouldn't take any more than that. I've only had to do it 3 times to get it to work. If you still have the red light after playing with the system a little bit like that, then you know that you probably do have bad signal strength. And you can use a little common sense as well. If you're right next to the panel like I am, it's highly unlikely that I have poor signal strength. So, for the next thing we're going to show here, you can see these 2 lines on the side here. This is actually for the magnet. So let me grab the magnet here. So this magnet you would mount to the wall. You have a couple holes here that you can put screws through. And you want to line it up so that it fits right there. So when it's mounted on the wall, it's actually got a reed switch in here that's going to be closed by the magnet. Now you will have to program this magnet and reed switch into your control panel. So let's go ahead and go through the process of doing that. Alright, so the next step for your installation on your 5800 wave is to activate the Supervision. So to do this, you actually need to mount your magnet and plug it in. At least that's the easiest way I found to do it. You don't have to do it that way. So what I suggest doing is taking your serial number off the back of the device, which you can see here, or inside the device. Write that down, and then mount up your magnet on the wall, plug this in. Once you have that, because one of the key steps to this is the magnet has to be next to the reed switch here within 15 seconds of powering up. If it's not, it basically deactivates that until you unplug it and plug it back in. Then you have another 15 seconds. So I've just taken some tape to attach the magnet there since I'm not plugging it into a wall, and I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. So plugged in, we got our yellow light on. It'll switch, we get the red light just because of the L3000. After about 15 seconds, the yellow light's going to go off here. Now, once you do that, your next step is to go to your L3000 and go into programming. Once you're in programming, you need to go to *56, and you're going to go to your next available open zone. For instance, we'll use 06. So then we'll push star. Now, the zone type I recommend using is 03. Basically, 03 is going to, anytime the system is armed, if this is tampered with, it's going to cause an alarm. So we'll go ahead and enter 03. This is just perimeter type, so it's an instant alarm when whether it's armed in state or away. Then we'll push star. Report code, generally you're going to want to use 10 there, so you're just going to push a 1 and then star. You're going to use RF supervise, so that's correct. Now here, we're not doing the auto learn process, just because in my opinion, it's easier just to enter it yourself rather than plugging this in and taking it out, because you'll have to trip your reed switch repeatedly. So you want to select the loop number. It's on 1 now, so you can see that, well, if I push 2, it changes to 2. This is our loop number. So you're just going to leave it on 1 and you'll push star. And then it says enroll mode. Now, you want to push 1 here, and this will allow you to manually enter the serial number. So it changes to 1B serial number. So now, you go to your serial number here that you've hopefully written down. So I have 0836610. And then you just push star. And it has it there again. So as long as that's correct, you're just going to push star again. And then zone descriptor, you can enter one if you want. I'm not going to bother with it. I don't expect this zone to ever really be open. I don't need a chime on it, things like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and push star. And then it'll take you to your next zone, obviously. So to exit out, once you're at zone number, you push 00. And then star 99. It's going to exit programming here. Now I just plugged in the battery, so it's probably going to give me a low battery here any second. And then we'll also test the tamper here. It should show a zone fault when I remove the magnet, so I'm going to remove the magnet. And you can see it shows zone 6, low battery, disarmed, not ready. So we push star.
Disarmed. Not ready to arm.
And then let's view the faults with star.
Fault.
So zone 6, fault. So then if we put the magnet back, you can see disarmed, ready. It's still showing us the RF low battery. Now this is a rechargeable battery, so good chance it'll show it to you in initial installation, but let it sit for, if it doesn't go away after a day, then you have a bad battery, but it should go away pretty quick. And then you can also see, now that I tampered that a couple times, our red light went away. So we have good signal strength, we're getting the low battery from here, and we can fault this zone and we get the fault. So that's the whole process. Again, the second part is technically optional, but we definitely recommend doing that. If you don't have this supervised, then you're never going to know if there's a low battery, if there's somebody tampers with it, you don't know about it, etc. So you'll want to make sure it's supervised, and then the house ID code matches. As long as you have all that, you'll be in good shape. Helpful if you do.